Hi everyone, it's me, Marianne Cito. I'm in my bedroom today and I'm here for a mat Pilates class. We're going to be using a toy today, one of our little tools, and you can stop your machine, excuse me, your computer to go gather. If you don't have a TheraBand, maybe you have a tubing that has the handles, or if you have none of the above, maybe you have a scarf. And if you don't even have any of those, you can grab a towel. If you grab a towel, make sure it's not a little hand towel, that it's a long handle, probably nothing real heavy. You don't want like a really big, heavy duty, big body towel. I'm going to go back and forth using all of these so that those of you that have one or the other will see me using it. The one thing I do want to remind all of you that might have one of these tubings that have handles is if you hold it like this and we start moving, these handles can maybe whack you in the face. So at all times, you're going to want to grab the handles and then grab the tubing part, and that's just going to be safer, okay? So whatever you can grab, since I have the tubing, I'm just going to keep that in my hands. We're going to start in a standing position. All right. And I want you to take your feet as wide as your mat. And if you want to even go wider than that, you can do that as well. And then both of your two little hip bones are square to the wall in front of you. We're just going to start with those arms relaxed by our side and start with our breathing. We inhale through the nose and we exhale through the mouth. On the inhale, those ribs are going to spread out wide. And on the exhale, those ribs are going to come in, and we're going to push that belly button to your back wall. You know, I always can kind of visualize an hourglass. On the inhale, you're at the top of the hourglass. On the exhale, you're at that narrow part. You can really feel how everything comes in together, and it's all the muscles around those ribs that are working. So kind of get that going, so all the other exercises will be easier for you. And we're going to finish this breath and do one more. Now, once you're done with that breath, let's take those arms straight over our head. Now, again, your two little hip bones are going to stay parallel to the wall in front of you. You don't want to turn the pelvis one way nor the other. And we're only going to work on the right side of our body first. So on the inhale, drop over to the right, and then exhale, come back up to center. Again, to the right. Inhale. Now we're just kind of finding our little stretch, and I want you to focus now on more core. So now when you go down, squeeze the ribs harder and feel that you've taken some momentum out of this. Inhale. If this bothers your shoulders and it's hard to get those arms up, oh, we can bend those elbows and just keep going. So you're not having to worry about any pain here. We don't do the no pain, no gain thing. That doesn't work. I've tried that. Doesn't work. Two more. One more. Now we're going to stay on that right side. So let's go ahead and go over to the side. Now bend your elbows for everyone. Exhale, stretch. As those arms go overhead, pull your ribs down and in. Get even smaller. And again, those of you that can't reach over your shoulders, you're going to come up as high as you can, squeezing tight with those ribs. Two more. Squeeze tight. And those pelvises are staying very stable. Now hold that length. Feel the stretch. Turn. Drop down to that right leg and just hang heavy here. Breathe. Nice. Now walk yourself to center. Take a breath, tighten up your tummy, restack, bone by bone by bone. Head is the last thing on top. Nice. Let's go to the left side. So again, elbows are bent or overhead. And on the inhale, we drop. Squeeze, exhale. Nice. So again, if you're using a scarf or you have a TheraBand, some of us have gone to physical therapy. I think I collected from white to black in all of my injuries and going to PT. So I have plenty of these around. Squeeze. Very good. Really anchor your heel, especially your right heel, into your floor so you're not coming up to get more range. Very good. One more time. Now let's hold it over to that side. Bend on the inhale, squeeze the ribs tighter, exhale. It would be very tempting to turn the pelvis, but you're going to get more stretch out of those obliques and such if you keep your hip bones straight ahead. 2 more. Hold it overhead, exhale. Oh, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Turn. Drop down to your left leg. Again, head is heavy. And just kind of feel a little hamstring stretch, glute, back. Come back to center. Take a breath. Restack using your abs. And come on in. All right, we're going to go right to our mats. Now keep your little piece of equipment, okay? So I'm going to switch it out. So again, I want you all to see, what we can do with whatever we have at home. Unfortunately, not all of us were ready for this to go out and purchase things. So, and you want maybe, again, about a hand's length away, or shoulder width away here. And I'm just wrapping it around so I don't whack myself. And we're going to go into bridging. And I want you to take your feet sit bone width apart with your heels lined up right under your butt bones and a little bit more than a hand's length away from your little buns. Now let's start with just a pelvic tilt. So I'm just going to let my toy rest on my belly. And on the inhale, we're in neutral. And on the exhale, we're going to curl the tailbone towards our navel. Go back to neutral. Your tailbone points straight ahead. And then you just curl and contracting the abs and the butt to do that pelvic tilt. You can try this without really getting into your butt muscles and trying to do, with your abs, because it's a lot more work to take the butt out of this and do it with your core a little bit more. One more. And I just like starting off sometimes with just a little pelvic tilt just to get the feeling of what we're going to get into, because now we get to go into a full bridge. We're going to take those arms overhead. So our arms are nice and long. And this time as you curl up, you're going to bring your tubing to your thighs. And then as you curl down, you'll bring those overhead. So again, those of you that might have those shoulder issues, You can just maybe bring your arms right up over your shoulders, reach for your thighs. Rock that pelvis. Visualize vertebrae by vertebrae. And you'll notice with those arms overhead, it's pulling your ribs really wide, so it makes it harder to do that vertebrae by vertebrae, mainly to come up. Now on the next one, hold your bridge all the way to the top. Get your pelvis very high, and as your hip bones are going up, push your belly button down so you're nice and compact, and that's going to give us some good back support. Now take those arms and just bring them back and forth, but trying to keep your ribs as close to one another as possible, especially when those arms go overhead, because those ribs want to fly out wide. You're going to squeeze them together. 2 more. And 1 more. Now, we're going to keep those arms behind our head. Take a breath. Rock your pelvis. Curl down. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Tabletop your legs. And this is just a little isometric move. Now, you want to get to where your elbows, triceps are on the mat. And we're just going to be pushing on your exhale, your shins up towards the ceiling, but you're pulling down on those straps. Inhale, relax. Exhale, push up. So a little arm and leg work here. Isometric exercises are so good for you because it really doesn't involve the joint. You get to work on some muscle, and they're very safe. They're very safe exercises. The longer you exhale, the longer you're going to be pressing up against your toy. 1 more time. And relax. Let's go ahead and put that off to the side for now. And we're going to do some single-legged bridges. Start with your right foot lined up with your sit bone, left leg straight up. And we're not going to worry about that vertebrae by vertebrae. I want you to just press straight up and down. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. 2 more. 1 more. And relax. Tabletop that leg, set it down, and switch. And again, you want to line it up so that you're not too far from that butt, so it's a little safer. And then we're just, again, going to lift and lower. Lift, lower. Exhale. Inhale. Nice. 2 more. Hold it up. Tabletop. Set it down. Take a breath. Curl down. And grab your shins. Now we're just going to circle. Big circles, as big as you can get. Bigger is always better. And just kind of massage your pelvis. Breathe. Good. Reverse. Go around. Nice. Good. I'm watching. I can see you. And go ahead and set that down. Let's go back to grabbing our little toy here, our little piece of equipment. And this time, If you do have the tubing, you can do some pulling on it or the TheraBand. You can do some stretching. If you want to do some pulling out, that would be, a nice benefit to your back and shoulder. So you can do so. We're going to take those arms straight up. Bring your legs straight up over your hips. Now on the exhale, we're going to lower our legs down, but we're also going to lift our head up. Now, again, those of you that want to add, if you have something stretchy, pull out as you lower and then relax the tubing, whatever, as you come up. Nice. Push that belly to your back, only go as low as you can and not feel that arch in your low back. Two more. Squeeze those ribs tight. Lengthen from your hip flexors all the way to the tips of your toes. And rest. Anytime you have the neck hurting, either bring that chin closer to your chest or set your head down and just keep moving, and that would be just fine. Now we're going to keep those arms overhead again, and let's start with our chin to our chest and take that right leg and stretch it towards the front wall. Bend on the inhale, stretch on the exhale. Inhale. And we're just going to do this one more time. Now hold that right leg out. Now take your left shoulder, we're going to do a little side crunch. Inhale, reach across to the right. And you can, again, if you need to get the head all the way down for just a second to give your neck a little break, do so. Two more. That right leg can be higher if we need. And let's go ahead and rest the neck mainly. All right, we've got to do this with the left leg. So arms are long, chin to chest. Take your breath, stretch the left, bend on the inhale, stretch, exhale. You don't want to look up at the ceiling. This really hurts my neck. There's a lot of weight. So the closer, again, that chin to chest, definitely easier. Go ahead and hold that left leg however low you can. Take your breath, crunch to your left. Two more, and one more. And relax. Nice. We're going to go ahead and come on up. And we're going to keep this. We're going to do some leg circle work. It's a little easier to do this with either the tubing or the TheraBand because you can really relax those arms. If you have tubing, you can put the handle at the bottom of your right foot. So those of you that have that, I'm going to use the scarf because I think the scarf is a little bit more challenging, a little bit to work with. It's not hard, it's just not as comfortable. And again, the right foot is going to have the tubing. Now, you're going to keep your forearm or your triceps on the mat. And that right leg is straight. We're going to try to straighten the knee out the best we can. And we're going to circle it. And with your scarf, you're going to be moving your arms a little bit more because, again, there's no stretch. Those of you that have something stretchy, you're going to be able to keep those triceps on the mat the entire time. This leg circle is meant more for your stretch than core. So let's just kind of Go as big as you can or want. And we'll finish this one and do one more this direction and then reverse. Breathe. One more. And we're going to hold that leg straight up. Now, we're climbing a tree. And when we climb a tree, if you have the tubing this or the TheraBand, this is harder because it's not as tight. But we take a breath in and climb up one vertebrae at a time. Take another breath, round out that back, curl down, and there's a little bit of support. Those of you that really need that arm strength, you're going to really grab it and use your little toy. The rest of you, you're going to use less arm grip. Exhale down. On the next one, we'll stay down. Now we're going to go into our favorite IT band stretch. I love this one. Place the entire tubing scarf into your left hand. Anchor your right cheek onto the mat so you're not letting your butt come off. Now pull your leg towards your left shoulder. Straighten the knee out as much as possible. Now, if we don't have enough pain here, flex your foot. Oh, Lord, breathe. Whew. That is a nice stretch in a bad way. Good. Try to relax. We tend to get really tight into our shoulders, our jaw. Try to rest that face. Put the energy into pushing that right cheek down. And then come back to center, and we're going to take that off and put that under our left foot. Alrighty. And again, we're going to hold it with both hands and circle. Big. Kind of work out the hip, hamstring, inner thigh. Good. Stretch. Reach your toes in all directions. So you don't want soft ankles or knees. And we'll go one more in this direction. And then reverse. Big stretch. Get a lot of range of movement in that joint. Finish this one, and we'll do one more. And we're going to hold it at the top. Now, we're going to climb our tree. So a lot of hand movement, a lot of grip, or very little. Take a big breath. Again, exhale to come up. Get tall. Take another breath. Round out vertebrae by vertebrae. What I love about using some of our equipment is they can either assist you or resist you. So in this case, it could be some assistance by really grabbing tight and holding on to something harder. Good. Let's do one more. Curl down. And we're going to go into our IT band stretch. Now, anchor that left cheek down, put everything into your right hand, and reach for your right shoulder. And you'll notice if you kind of roll over, you lose a little bit of that stretch. And again, flexing that foot. I feel this more behind the knee than I do the IT band stretch. Apparently, I don't have super tight IT bands, but behind the knee could be nerve, tendons, ligaments, muscle, just a lot of different things that might be tight. So there's not a wrong stretch here. Whatever you feel. And then come back to center, bend, and come on up. Good. Now we're going to do our seal, and it's 3 claps in the front of you and 3 overhead. I'm going to show a modified version, and I will show the regular seal. I'm going to do the regular one first. And you want to grab under and in front of your ankles for both movements. 3 claps forward, they should be pretty wide. Then you roll back, you hold, you clap 3 more times, and you come back forward. If you cannot get stuck, you're just going to roll and come back. 1, 2, 3, roll back, 4th, and again, those of you that can get stuck, it's a little bit more belly work to stay back there. And this will be our last one. And come forward. And relax. All right, so we're going to grab our piece of equipment again. And this is going to be a combination of back, butt, hamstring, and tricep. So I'm going to go to TheraBand now. And you're lying on your belly. And when we lie on our belly, I want you to take the TheraBand behind you, or your tool. Okay. Now we want enough to where our knuckles can touch the mat. All right. Once you're here, lengthen your legs about sit bone width apart. The back of the neck is long. We're not touching our forehead or nose on the mat. And I want you to kind of get some tightness in your tool. And just kind of feel that it's tight. You're kind of pulling out to the sides. And let's just lift up and down with those arms. Palms are pretty much up. Nice. Lift. Lift. We're not doing anything. Your glutes are relaxed, your thighs are relaxed. The back of your neck is long, so we're working the front of our neck muscles right now. Very good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to relax those arms. We're going to add a little spine extension, but we're going to try to keep our toes on the mat. Now, reach on the inhale, your fingertips to your heels. Exhale down. Inhale to lift. If you can keep your tool off of your behind and thighs, it's a little bit more work on the triceps. We're lifting right between those shoulder blades. Hold it up on this next one. Now let's do those little lifts again. Lift, lift, lift. Reach for your heels. You've got your lats working as well as those triceps. Rhomboids are working. You're squeezing between your shoulder blades. But you really don't feel too much butt here. You're kind of relaxed from the waist down. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and again, we're going to relax. We're going to add the legs. Now, if that's too much for your back, maybe you want to just keep the chest work going again. Maybe you don't want to add the legs. Otherwise, on the inhale, lift your thighs, chest. Good. We're still going to reach for our heels. And again, get into those lats, rhomboids. Now we got that low back really working. Our glutes and hamstrings have to work now. Squeeze. Really feel the contraction of your glutes. That's going to help that low back. Hold this next one up. And again, pulse. Lift. Keep reaching. Keep reaching. Arms are super long. Tight glutes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it on 1. Now bend those elbows and extend. Bend, extend. Bend, extend. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Go ahead and put your toy off to the side, and we're going to push back into child's pose. And my computer lost you. Good. Alrighty. Child's pose, breathing into those back ribs. One more full breath. And come on up. Alrighty, from here we're going to do a leg pull, but we're not going to do the leg portion of this. We're just going to kind of work those arms a little bit. We're going to leave the leg portion out of this today. Take your legs straight out in front of you, and you want your fingertips to point to the side walls. I think this is easier on the wrist than it's taught where you're either way back or fingers forward, which I think is hard on the wrist. But I like the side position. Now we're just going to lift the pelvis up, down. Squeeze your glutes. And maybe you're just lifting a tiny bit off the mat. But that works. Nice. Lift. Lower. 2 more. 1 more. And rest. Take those legs, keep them long, but sit tall for spine twist. Arms are stretched out, shoulders are out of your ears. We do 1 inhale forward, 3 exhales as we pulse back, and it's 3 exhales as well. Big breath in. Get taller. Try not to sink into your sit bones, and try to look at that back hand. Really take that neck and twist it back. You get more range. 1 more set. And bring it in. Good. Very good. All right, we're going to go ahead and go into some side planking, which are challenging. I always show 3 positions from modified to the more advanced version. I'm going to go to my left side first, left elbow under your shoulder. And then for those of you that are going to do the most modified version, bend your left knee, straighten your right knee. The rest of you are going to keep your left leg, right leg long. Those of you that want to go more advanced, we're going to go to our palm. And it's not right under your shoulder because you've got to get some space between the palm and the shoulder so it's not so hard on the wrist. Take your right hand by your hip, by your thigh, and on the exhale, we're going to lift. We're going to bring those hips up. Inhale down. So I'm going to be doing all 3 versions here. And forearm down, squeeze, inhale, exhale. And those of you that are modifying, you still got to get those hips up to engage the obliques. And let's do 1 more. And relax. go to your tummies and we'll do a forward plank. Elbows under your shoulder. Toes are curled under. Move your shoulder blades down first and then even pick your belly button off the mat. So just kind of feel how your tummy's already tight and we haven't even moved yet. Now lift up whether you have your knees down or not. We're in our plank. And I have to always readjust my feet. They're never in the right spot when I come up. So fix that and feel the length from head to heel. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's flip to our other side. So now we're on our right side, and we've got that right forearm under you. Those of you that have your palm, it's a little bit further away. Knee is bent, leg is long. So you're going to bend that right knee if you need to. So I'm going to start with the modified version first, and exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. Oh, next level. Both legs are long. You can even stack your feet. So this would kind of be somewhere in between that second level and the palm up because you have a less of a base, so it's a little bit harder. And then those of you that are all the way up, good. Lift. One more time. Lift, exhale, and inhale. Back to our bellies. And again, those elbows are directly under our shoulders. Shoulder blades down, bellies are tight. Curl those toes under, come on up, breathe. Now let's take the right leg and lift it and push it off to the side 4 times each leg. If you don't want to add this, don't. Just stay in your plank. And if you're on your knee, you can do this. And then lower it down. Take your arms in T and your legs in V. On the exhale, we start. On the inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale. Inhale to lift and lower. Good. When we have our legs and our arms wider, we just work a different area of the back. We always got to find different angles here so we're not just touching the same muscle fibers over and over again. We got to find them all. Let's finish with left arm, right leg, and then do both. Let's do it all. Again, leave anything out that doesn't work for you. If there's pain, it's not working out pain like, wow, this is just hard. But if it hurts, take maybe those elbows, bend them, make it a little easier. 2 more, take those legs in narrower, it's a little easier. And again, we get to do another child's pose. So go ahead and sit back on those sit bones, on those heels. And round out that back and really feel the breath into your back. Good. Very good. 2 more full breaths. Wide. 1 more. And rest. We're going to kind of keep working the back just a little bit, okay? Let's start on all 4s and then take your right arm straight out in front. Try to touch the front wall. Left leg to the back wall. But make sure your left hip didn't rotate out. Kind of get that pelvis down. Nice. Now we're going to kind of go into hip work but oblique work as well. Take your left leg off to the side and back to center. Side, center, side, center. We're trying to keep that right side very still, so that right arm isn't moving. And I can see mine in my peripheral vision here as I'm looking down. I can see that right arm is not moving, and that's good. One more time. Nice. Now we're going to take the right elbow and the left knee. We're going to tuck in like we're going to get into a little ball shape and then stretch it out. Tuck. And now we've added a lot more balance because we've got some movement going on, and we've got to stretch it out and try not to tip over. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And set it down. All right, let's go to the other side. So we're taking the left arm, stretch it first before you take the right leg back. And feel the difference between the right and left side balance-wise. Now take that leg over to the side, back to center. Take your time. We've got control. Yep. So again, that left arm is staying very still. Hanging in there. Probably harder on your wrist than it is on anything else. You could always do knuckles. 1 more time. And then we're going to get to where we tuck in. Left elbow, right knee, stretch. Bend. Extend. Bend. Extend. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Stretch long. 2 more. 1 more. And come on in. Very good. All right, let's go back to our back. And again, let's grab one of our pieces of equipment here and lie down. We like to lay down. Everything's easier on our back. All right, so again, kind of get to where you're holding this about shoulder width apart or so. And we're going to take our arms straight up, tabletop your legs. Double leg stretch. We're bringing our chin to our chest. On the inhale, stretch your arms and legs out. Exhale, tuck tight. Inhale. Exhale, tuck tight. Inhale, stretch, tuck tight. Oh, I didn't take my phone off the hook. Isn't that the pits? Good. Inhale, stretch. Keep your shoulder blades as high as you can. And we're going to do this 2 more times and 1 more time. And relax. Nice. Now we are going to get rid of our toy. Take your arms in T. Bring your legs straight up. Now you can have your knees bent a little bit or a lot of it or all the way up. Glue your shoulder blades down. You're going to look straight up at the ceiling. On the inhale, drop to the right, left shoulder blade down. Squeeze your ribs and come back to center. Left side. Now this should be kind of what we did with our side bends standing. We didn't whip our upper body up quickly with momentum. We used our obliques. I want you to do the same thing here, is squeeze your ribs tight. Inhale. Squeeze your ribs tight. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more right, 1 more left. Breathe in and out. Last one. Exhale and rest. Now I want you to see that behind you, you're not going to hurt your toes, whack your feet into your wall, or piece of furniture or whatever you might have near you, because we're going to roll over. So again, we're going to start with that 90-degree angle, and I'll show some modifications here. And we are going to do some of our footwork. We're going to start with our toes pointed. Exhale to go over, flex and open, inhale, curl down vertebrae by vertebrae, exhaling down. Inhale, point and squeeze together, exhale over. So those of you that need help, you're going to use those hands to push you. Flex, curl down, so you can grab your behind, work yourself down. And those of you that shouldn't go up on their neck or can't, just rock your hips back and forth. Good. This is one of my favorite stretches for hamstrings, glutes, and back. So anytime I'm tight, I go right to this one because it kind of, for me, addresses a lot of that backside of my body all at once. So now finish this one, and we're going to go over with our legs wide, flexed feet. Squeeze your ankles and knees together. Straighten those knees out the best you can. And again, open and flex. Exhale over. Point and squeeze. Exhale down. Again, hands can be used. Maybe you just even want to do the leg work. Yep, you can just bring those legs down and up. Yeah, make them like little squares. Finish this one. And then when you're done, bend your knees, grab behind your hamstrings, and we're going to curl it on up. All right. We're going to do a little mermaid thing here. And this can be a real big cramp in the hips. So if you cramp, it's kind of normal, unfortunately. Left knee is bent. Right knee is bent behind you. Okay? All right. If you can see yourself in the computer, look to see that your shoulders are square. Okay? It's going to be really tempting for us to lean. So we're going to imagine water bottles on our shoulders. Take your arms off to the side in T. Now we're just going to start by lifting that right knee up and down. So you've got your foot still on the mat. Now, if this is good, maybe we can try lifting the knee and the foot up at the same time. And what happens here is a lot more weight will go to your right cheek, and this is where we tend to want to tip over. So see if you can lift without really tipping, and that's hard. And that's where the cramp comes in. One more time. And bring it down. Now we're going to do a little stretch for the mobility and the stability of the hip. Take your right hand kind of in front of your knee, left hand back. You're going to maybe bend the the left elbow a little bit. And we're going to lift that back knee and just try to touch your sit bones. We're just going to go back and forth. This is, again, an excellent stabilizer for the hips and the pelvis, and also the stability and flexibility. So we kind of want mobility, flexibility, stability, all that stuff wrapped around. Good. 3 more. It's going to be tempting to do one of these. And go ahead and set it down. Now go ahead and take your left forearm all the way down and bring that right arm overhead. So again, this looks like what we did at the beginning of the class. And imagine me grabbing your wrist, and then I'm going to sit on your hip at the same time. Good. And come on up. All right, let's go to the other side. And this is my bad side. I like to point out my flaws. I have a harder time with my left hip being flexible than my right, so I don't sit as straight ahead. And lengthen those arms, shoulder blades are down. Let's just start lifting that left knee up and down. So again, if this is the most we can do, this is great. And we're still kind of working that hip just about. And we can feel that. You get into your hip flexors, so you're needing those muscles to contract and release as well. And if you can, let's see if we can pick that foot up. Again, you can see I am definitely going to struggle a lot more on this one. Normal. Gosh, I can't believe I'm not perfect. Huh. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. So again, if you cramped, I'm so sorry. Take your palm down and lift the knee up and swing that heel to your sit bones. Pull back. And again, there's some bend in that back elbow, but again, you're not resting your chest on your thigh. Pull back, reaching for your sit bones. 2 more. And 1 more. And we're going to go ahead and set the knee down and set the forearm down and just stretch. Again, I'm going to grab the wrist. You're going to push your butt down and find your stretch. And come on up. All right, we're going to do some arabesque, and we're going to do it in 2 different ways. The first one I always think is a little bit harder because I'm going to ask you to be aware of your pelvis and have a little bit more control. The second set, it's kind of a free-for-all. We'll take our hands shoulder width apart and then get into an inverted V position. Most likely your heels are not down. Now I'm going to start with my left leg first because it's closer to you and you can see better. But I'm going to take the left leg up. If you're not sure, you can watch this. I don't want to come up so high that it turns my pelvis. I want to keep that hip bone parallel to the mat. So range of movement is not super big. If you're flexible, you feel like, well, I can go higher than that. But again, what might happen is the twist of the pelvis. We're going to go higher, I promise. 1 more time. Let's try that with the right leg. So again, 2 little hip bones point straight down to your mat. Lift and lower. Breathe. Two more. And 1 more. Now, before we do the second set, folks, let's go ahead and kind of work out that wrist because we're going to go back up. And that's hard on the wrist, so we'll stretch it out for a sec. All right, so when we go to the second round here, you're going to be able to go up higher with those toes, but you're going to rotate the pelvis. So again, if you want to watch, get into your inverted V. I'm going to go again with my left leg. Now, as you start to come up, you're going to rotate and squeeze, 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 and then come back down. So we're going to do a few on this side first. Now, if you can, try to avoid bending. If you've got the left leg going, you're going to want to bend the right elbow, but you want to try to keep that right elbow as straight as possible. 1 more time. Now we're going to hold this up and pulse, pulse, tight, stretch higher. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, breathe, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. We're going to stretch the wrist again, because again, I know that's brutal on the wrist. All right, so right leg, we might be more flexible one side than the other. We'll see. Come on up. All right, right leg goes up. But, It's easy to get really high and bend the knee. You want to straighten those knees out and even stretch your ankles out. Maybe you have some noise going on. Maybe you're doing some little adjustments in your back. If it hurts, definitely limit that. But if it feels like, wow, I'm getting some movement in the spine as well, that's what this is about, as well as that nice hip flexor stretching. One more time. Hold that leg up and pulse. Straighten out your right elbow. Tight, tight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on down. Round out that back again. Oh, that feels good. I love arabesque. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to our back. Knees are going to be bent. And this is all about the stability of our pelvis. It's not how fast or anything that you're going to do this with or how high. It's really going to be a low movement. I'm going to move my arm so that you can see this. This is my right leg here in your view, closest to you. As you stretch that right leg, what might happen is you might have just seen my ribs pop open. I've got a bunch of space in my low back. So I'm going to go ahead and push that down and then inhale, bend, exhale, stretch. I'm going to try to hover that leg close to my mat. And I'm just going to work with the right leg first here. Inhale, stretch, exhale. One more time. Ask yourself if your ribs are spreading wide with that leg down. Next leg, left leg. Ribs are tight. Maybe you would want to hold your ribs and pull them in. Maybe assist yourself to remember to not let that low back and ribs change. One more. Nice. Tight, 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 tight. And come in. Now, let's go back to our toy. And we're going to go into teaser. I'm going to show 2 different variations. Arms are straight up overhead. Now, to do a regular teaser, we go from here, and on the exhale, we come up and reach for our toes, and then bring it right back down. Notice that I don't throw my hands overhead. Now, those of you that want to modify, alternate one leg and the other. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Thought we were done, huh? We're getting near the end and we're doing a teaser when we're tired. Two more, one more on each leg. And relax. We're going to put our toy down. Grab behind your hamstrings, roll it on up. And we're just going to sit nice and tall. And I don't want you to do the arm thing today for our breath. I want you to even close your eyes if you want to focus better. But I want you to just breathe into your right lung. So brain on. Here we go. You've had the left lung removed. One more breath. All right, so now we have a left lung, but we don't have a right one. So see if you can get that breath more into that left lung than the right one. And I know it's really not happening, but in your mind and body connection, you feel that left side more than the right. One more breath. Oh, and you're back to having two lungs. So now we're going to do big breaths. But again, let's not worry about those arms. Focus on how much air you can get in your lungs. Make your balloons as big as possible. And then small, 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 small. A lot of exhale, a lot of exhale. Keep going. Keep breathing out, keep breathing out, keep breathing out. One more time. Big breath in. Long exhale. I want you to empty every molecule of air you have in your lungs. Squeeze it out. It's like a washcloth. You're going to wring out all the water out of that washcloth. Keep going. You've got more. You've got more. You've got more. You've got more. And when you're done with that, relax. Give yourselves a big hand. You made it through another mat class. Yay! So I hope you're all staying safe and healthy and just keep moving, nice walks out, and enjoy this beautiful weather we're having. And have a great day. I'll see you next time. Take care again. My name's Mary Ann, Wheat Ridge Rec Center. Bye-bye.